Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to our next build here. It will be the Cutty Shark 1350 from Academy Models. I haven't built a ship in a long time, but I'm not going to build this just as a ship. And you already know that because you saw the title card. Anyways, looks like a nice kit. Have never looked at an Academy kit, so let's dig in and see what we got. Alright, let's crack this box open and see what we have. We have a little card. Well, okay. Don't need that. We have this first baggie. These nice, beautiful chocolate brown sprues. We will be painting over this color, but I really like it. Nice details. I noticed a lifeboat or two, which we don't need, but hey, that's there. This really surprised me. I did not expect to see string for rigging included in this kit. That's very cool. We will be actually using that, yes. Those sails look really nice too. We have another card I don't care about. And the instructions. I love these instructions. These are what I call, you figure it out instructions. It's not too difficult. Not many parts. Just slap them together. There you go. Nice, detailed rigging instructions included. Well, it's a picture. But let's get these open and take a more detailed look at the parts. We have our main hull halves here, and these are beautifully detailed for such a small scale. There are rivets on every one of the panels, so if you're one of those that are so inclined to count those rivets, well, they're all there. Not much on the inside here, but yeah, very detailed hull. Now we look at these. We have masts, we have deck, we have a very nice detailed wheel. I really like that. Some anchors, we don't need those, but they're there. The top of the deck, you can actually see that wood grain in there. It looks very cool. Another, looks like a lifeboat that's molded in there. There's our stand with our plaque. We won't be using that. So yeah, very cool. And here we have our sails. Here are our three main sails right here. And a nice off-white, kind of a cream color or bone white. Unfortunately, you do have these giant divots in the back of them, which you would have to fill if you want them to look nice and clean. So those are our main sails. Very nice detail on those as well. They look all billowy. Here are our secondary sails and our string. That's not that I don't have string. It's always nice to have more string. String is useful, right? But here's some more rigging down here at the bottom for said sails and such. And some secondary sails. We will be using a couple of these guys right here. We have this little pamphlet, instructions, tools, and the like. Guessing this is kind of showing you how to rig and such. But let's get some of these guys off the sprues and take an even closer look. And here are our two hull halves. See, the pins on these and the recesses are very small, and that's really all you get for line-up pins there. But the hull does fit together quite nicely. It looks very cool. We have our little deck. That just goes on the top. Or at least that's what I was thinking. As I'm messing around with it here, I'm seeing that things aren't quite lining up the way I want them to. So I'm investigating this. There's a little shelf there, and it looks like it goes underneath the shelf because you see the deck lines up there and lines up in front. But then when we put the two halves together, nothing else lines up. The hull is way off, and I'm trying to figure this one out. So I kind of have it figured out here. It does sit on the top, but things are a little wonky. Things don't line up properly when I put it there. See, there's a little shelf made up of tiny little nodules, whatever. But it's supposed to sit on those. But it doesn't line up under the railing in front. Which you can't really see it there, but you can see it in back. See how high up the deck sits. It's not supposed to sit there. It's supposed to sit under the railings. So we may have to do a little bit of editing to the plastic to get that to sit just right. Here we have our wheel, and that goes on the back of the ship here, right there. But we don't want that there. We want that at the front of the ship. As you can see from the screenshot, our buddy Sid is piloting the airship from the front, so that's where we want the wheel. We have these three sections that go on top of the deck. This doesn't fit in very well. It kind of has a little lip on it, and it just doesn't fit perfectly, or at all. We'll have to address that. These sections fit on just fine. You can see our front section here has a lifeboat. We don't need that. That'll be gone. And right back there, those protrusions are for those two other lifeboats, which we also don't need, so those are going to be gone as well. These little squares on the back of this deck piece look like windows to me, so we're going to cut those out. We also have recesses on this piece. I will be cutting those out as well. This piece also, with these mounts for our other two lifeboats, we'll be removing those. We'll be slapping this on here. I'm going to add some lights to this, just not quite 100% sure where and what and how. Let's get these masks off the tree and take a look at them. Here we have our masts. They are keyed, so they can only go into the deck one way, which is very nice. We have our foremast here. Goes in there, just slides right in. Our main mast, again, slides in, and our aft mast. Very nice, if not a little bit wiggly. We have the bowsprit that goes right in up here. It's a little bit tricky to get in there. I'm going to chalk that up to the ship not being glued together. But it just slides in at the front right there like so. Looking very nice. No figurehead, but bowsprit. And it does require a little bit of rigging right down there. And here are all our ship parts laid out. We have some modifications to make to these. The masts are a good place to start. I want 3 rotor blades on these masts. The largest blade will be on the center mast, and 2 smaller ones on the side. Now if I put that blade right there, it's going to chop those side masts off, so I need to edit those just a little bit. Going to cut these masts down. Nothing too drastic. I think I'm just going to cut them right about there. So they'll sit about there on the deck. That rotor will not chop them off. We also need something to stabilize those huge rotors at the top at the fore and aft of the ship. So I need to put a few stabilizing rotors in there, otherwise the ship just, well, it kind of does that and doesn't go anywhere. We also need something to propel our ship, so we'll be putting propellers out the rear, and we need something for the ship to land on, so I'm going to be putting skids on the bottom. To help facilitate some of this stuff, I bought some more model kits. Let's take a look at those. Building a boat helicopter, let's buy some 1/350 scale helicopters. I mainly want these for the rotors, but there's some other parts we can use as well. I have 4 of these. Nice little helicopters. Let's take a look at the contents. Here we have the WZ-10 attack helicopter. Was not expecting the clear at all. This is the paint guide. The instructions for these are on the rear of the boxes. Not too many steps as one might expect. So the clear plastic is nice, and then I flip it over and discover, oh my gosh, we have photo etch. Wow, that is awesome. And there is that little rotor we are after. Right there. Here we have the Harbin Z9WA copter, or at least the paint guide for it, and the plastic for it. Nice looking, very detailed kits for so small. Our rotor blades, we will be wanting those, and our photo etch for said rotor blades, very cool. Here is the Harbin Z9C paint guide, and the plastic and photo etch. I kind of tore this up getting it out of the box, but yeah, those are rotors. There's the body of our little helicopter. And finally, our Harbin Z9B attack helicopter. Nice paint guide, camo on there. And the parts. I didn't think this came with photo etch. It was stuck in the box. But yeah, it does have photo etch. So I'm looking for it here, and I don't find it, but I do later on. So every kit has photo etch. And there's our mess of parts for this build. I still have a few things to figure out on this kit. The rails, for instance, that I want to put in the bottom, I'm probably going to have to scratch build those. I kind of want larger rotor blades, so maybe we'll scratch build some rotor blades. I will be using those other ones as secondaries. But that is what we're doing, guys. Next week, we'll be diving into this build full steam ahead. I want to thank everyone out there for subbing. I want to thank everyone out there for watching. All my old subs, all my new subs. You guys are rad. And until next time, you guys take care.